Hello. So I'm here for my second housing review in Cliffshade, which is the medium-sized Altmer house in Marbrook, Greenshade. It has a 400 item limit and requires Spirit of the Bosmer achievement to buy with gold. It's 225,000 gold, or you can purchase it with crowns for 3,600 or 4,500 if you purchase it furnished. And here it is. This was actually the first house I ever bought on the live servers. And I have decorated this house a lot more than I have probably any of the others in the whole game. I've decorated this one so many times. So, I am very fond of this house. I love the style of it. I like the layout of it. I think it's really attractive. The fireplace is against the wall. And it's just a really nice layout. You can add space in here. We get my planks out. So you can add space in this area if you wanted to. And also over here as well. So there don't seem to really be any invisible walls. In fact, you don't even ping into first person being in this little bit here. So it's really good for that. Yeah, I would say 400 items in a way. This is one of the reasons I love this house so much, is every single time I've decorated this house, I've had items left over. I've been like, okay, I've finished decorating now. I've had a look and I've still had like 50, sometimes even more than that, items left over at the end. But that's also something I wanted to talk about actually. I feel like for a medium house, this house is really small. And even though it's like smaller than a lot of the other medium houses that have gardens, this one doesn't even have a garden. But if we go outside quickly, okay, so as you can see, there is a wall here. So I think this would be amazing if we had a little garden here. I very much doubt they're ever going to add a garden here. But you could have a little gate here where you enter. So the entrance could be here, and then you would just have this little garden. The walls extended, you could maybe have it going all the way around the edge of the house, so it would only be a small garden. And you could easily decorate the inside of the house and a little garden because it's just so small for the item limit in there. It's an amazing house, and in a way, that's one of the bonuses and the things that I love about it is you can do what you want in here because the item limit is so high for the size of the house. It's probably, I would say, it probably has, in my opinion, the best item limit of any house in this game, actually, I would say. In my opinion, it's just a very beautiful house. Unfortunately, it doesn't have a garden, which would make it even better. And the item limit is, in a way, too much for the house. I don't think they could ever be too much, but when you compare it to some of the others, it's insane what you can do in here with the item limit. And I'm not doing a review of this house right now, but I'm just going to travel to Mornoth Keep quickly because that is going to help me review this house, just to show you the difference. Okay, so we're in Mornoth Keep. Look at the size of this place. This place has the same item limit as the house where I was just in, Cliffshade. So we have this huge garden here. Really big. It's quite cool actually because you can build up in this garden. I'm not going to talk too much about this house because I'm not reviewing this one. But I'm just trying to let you get a feel for all of this space that we get for 400 items. This also has a garden bigger than the one that I would like in Cliffshade, just at the top bit here, not even including down there. And then we have the actual house, which probably has around the same floor space as Cliffshade. The upstairs is probably a little bit smaller, not by too much. Downstairs is most definitely bigger than Cliffshade, like by quite a fair bit. So my point here is I would like to see them add different categories for different item limits. So for instance, having a category in between the medium and large, so that this house would have more than 400, because it makes absolutely zero sense to me that this would have the same item limit as Cliffshade. It makes no sense whatsoever, seeing as Cliffshade is so tiny. So I'm going to travel back to Cliffshade now. Okay, we're back in Cliffshade. As you can see, the difference in size between this and Mornoth Keep is quite insane. So, pros and cons of this house. So the pros of this house, as with all of the Altmer houses, is it's got a lot of natural light, just like Blackvine Villa. Lots of natural light in here. It's got lots of nice little areas like this. Upstairs it's got some nice little areas too. Like these funny shaped rooms, which add a lot of interest, I think, instead of just having a square room. I really like the staircase. I like the fact it's got separated spaces as well. Again, just like Blackvine Villa, because it's the same style, I really like the woodwork and the brickwork. I like the fireplace. And I like the fact that you can be really creative in here and use your item limit however you want to, because the size of the house makes it easy to do what you want, because 400 is an insane amount for such a tiny house. I really like the second level. I like the archways up here. It's just a really beautiful house, and probably one of my most favourite houses in the entire game. I absolutely love this house. The cons about this house, it's hard to find too many of them. I mean, it's got 3 fireplaces, which is so many for this little house, but they work nicely. The fireplaces are against the wall, so I can't complain about those. Perhaps things like this shelf could be not here, but again, I don't mind the shelf being there. I suppose that could only be an issue if you plan to do something around the fireplace yourself. I don't really know if that is an issue. I wouldn't say so, but perhaps it might be for some people. And I would say, even though the small size of this place is what makes it so special, because you can do a lot with it, with the item limit, I would say I would like to see a garden in this place to make it worth its price and to make it a medium house, because at the moment I would say it's more like a small house with a medium house item limit. It hasn't got the size for a medium house really. Even some of the small houses probably have more buildable space than this place. So I would like to see this little area around here become part of the house. It's not like there's anything here that, I mean, that you'd obviously have to take out a couple of these nodes if this were through your garden, because there are quite a lot just around the edge of here, as you can see. But I would love a little garden in Cliffshade. If it had a little garden, it would be my favourite house in the game, most definitely. So I think that's it for my review on Cliffshade. I personally would give Cliffshade a 6.5 out of 10, the same as I gave Blackvine Villa, despite it being one of my favourite houses and I've got quite a passion for it. I've got to try and be realistic, and even though I love it, Blackvine Villa had the benefit of a garden, an outdoor space, which allows you to be more creative, especially with the height that you could build there. whereas here you're kind of confined to being just inside the building. So yes, I would give it the same as Blackvine Villa. If it had a garden, it would be a 7.5 probably, maybe even more depending what you could do in the garden. But because it doesn't have a garden, just a 6.5 for me. And the item limit I would suggest is 400. I would say the item limit here is absolutely perfect. And I wish that the item limit here was a reflection of the item limit in all of the other houses in the game, where we could just do what we wanted to do. So I think that's it for my Cliffshade review. I hope you enjoyed watching. I'm going to be streaming on Thursday this week instead of Tuesday because I'm waiting for my router, and I also completely forgot about the ESO live stream, which I want to watch myself too. So yes, I will be streaming on Thursday. Hopefully my router is here, and hopefully it won't be so laggy. I really hope not. I'm still taking down names for houses that I will be visiting on Thursday night, starting at 9:30 GMT. I will probably not be logging to the NA server until, I would say, until about 11 PM GMT. Maybe a bit later, maybe a bit earlier, but that's the time I plan to log on to the NA server, so that will help with the time differences and things, so hopefully people will be around there as well. Thank you so much for watching. Please feel free to let me know in the comments what you think about this house and whether you think this house should have a garden. So thank you very much again, and have a wonderful night. Goodbye.